I'm not happy. The residents who live in this area aren't happy either. This fire station responds to thousands of calls for service, particularly for paramedic service, and you've moved somebody down the street for another station, you're delaying the response time. I'm a nurse practitioner by training, and I'm telling you, this is not a good idea to do it, and my residents know that. Well, this station historically has really responded to a lot of the paramedic calls and the calls for service and fire, but they really then backstop all the other stations, so to close it down half day just doesn't make any sense. People don't time their emergencies based on what time of day it is. And the point is, again, when you're responding in an emergency, every minute counts, particularly for advanced life support. You've got to be there quickly and get people to the hospital. Well, we have Prop H that was passed by the voters, and it was supposedly for fire and police only. The city took in $3.8 million. How can you tell voters we got $3.8 million and now we're going to cut police and fire services? That $3.8 was to be supplementary money, not to replace. And so I either say we need to relook at that tax, and actually it's not high enough. Get that tax up, but also make sure that it's used first and foremost to prevent cuts in fire and police. And it's not just fire that's being cut. They're proposing cutting 38 sworn police officers at a time that we are hearing that we need police officers.
When you first heard about it, your reaction was what?
Over my dead body. I was in a press conference where it was announced that this cut was being placed in the budget, and the mayor has never talked to me about it. The city manager had never talked to me about it. This is my district. This impacts my residents, and we're supposed to be one city, but I would think that one council person whose district it's in should have been talked to, and I was not. And so I think we need some rethinking about how we make decisions.
Basically what we've got is we have been given until October 1st in order to come up with the fire department's cuts. Essentially what is going to happen here is they're going to have what's considered a focused deployment, which will mean that you will have one engine company that will be floating between Engine 18's area and Engine 101's area, which is downtown. During the daylight hours, they will cover the downtown station. At night, they will come and cover Station 18's area, and that's an attempt to balance the budget. Basically what you have is you have Station 18 and Engine 18 and Engine 101 are going to become the focused deployment engines. And so during the daylight hours, you're going to have the engine crew from here will be covering in 1's area. At night, they will come back here and cover 18's area. So Station 18 will be dark during the daylight hours. Now the way 14's operates in that is right now they have an engine, a rescue, and they have a truck company that are in service. Now that engine and that truck company, essentially, we're going to lose one of those crews, and you're going to have one crew that are going to be manning both pieces of equipment, and you're going to have one additional personnel. So they will have a 5-person crew, and the way that it works is, let's say you have a fire, and they are first on scene. That's their first in area. Then that company is going to operate as an engine company, and that means that they're going to pull the hose lines. They're going to go in and suppress the fire. That means we have to call an additional truck company to fill in the truck company functions. Now, if they're second in, or if it's not their first in area, then what they're going to do is they are going to function as a truck company, and then you may have to call an additional engine. But they're still working out the details on that. But essentially what you're going to do is you're going to have one 5-person crew that will be functioning either as an engine or a truck, and they will be manning 2 pieces of equipment that will go everywhere as a unit.
Which means additional minutes for our firefighters to get on scene, and it will translate into lives lost, property lost, and people hurt. Plain and simple. Absolutely. If you run the statistical numbers and you show clearly if a call takes 3 minutes for us to get on scene, and somebody's having chest pain or having a heart attack, and now because this engine is no longer here, it takes 5 minutes, 6 minutes, possibly longer to get on scene, there's a great potential for people to lose their lives if you close this fire station. This station is here for a reason. Every station we have in Long Beach has been placed there years and years ago. It's not something we just dreamt up to place this station. And all of our stations and our crews work in concert with each other. It's a system. It's like putting 9 players on a baseball field. If you take one player off the baseball field, there's a hole that has to be covered by somebody else. And the reality is, we cannot function to the highest level that our citizens, our businesses and visitors have become accustomed to if you take one of our players off the field. It's not okay with the Firefighters Association. What it means in real terms is you're going to have a reduction in service in areas where people live and work and stay. In this area, in Station 18's area, what it's going to mean is this engine is not going to be here to respond to calls for service in this heavily populated bedroom community. This station was put here over 50 years ago because there was a need for it. It's been demonstrated that there's a need for this station to be here for over 50 years. So now to say we're going to take this station out of service, even if it's for a short period of time during the day, you're kind of playing Russian roulette with the people who live and work in this area and saying, well, you know, maybe 70% of the time will be okay. But it's the 30% of the time that are going to get people hurt and people's property going to be lost and people are going to have big problems, and that is not okay with me. I live here, Bill. I live here. This is not okay with me. There are plenty of places in this city that could be trimmed in a tough economic time so as to continue to fund public safety adequately.
Well, what would have happened on that call that came in at 1:25 this afternoon? We saw the engine leave. What would happen in real terms? This station would be closed.
That's correct. This station would be closed. So what they would do is they would look and say, what's the next closest fire engine? Be it the station over on Clark, which is a mile away, be it the station down on Atherton, a mile away, or Station 5 over in El Dorado Park, over a mile away. And they would say, which station is closest to that call? And they would send that station, which it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that that's going to mean increased minutes in order to get on scene and deliver paramedic service or effect a firefight or rescue somebody from a crashed car. It takes more time. And statistics have shown for years, every minute that ticks off the clock is one less opportunity for that person to survive and thrive. So, again, it's not okay with me that we downgrade public safety in this city. We have it good right now for a reason.
Have they told you how much they're talking about to restore the service here?
It's 4.5% is roughly what the city manager is cutting out of our budget, and this station, including Station 14, the eliminating 4 firefighters over there, will result in about a $3.8 million hit to the budget here, which the budget stabilization account was set up, we thought, to properly and adequately fund public safety when time arose.
So to restore 1 and 18 and 14 would be a little under $4 million.
That's right. To keep our public safety the way we've demonstrated we need it for the past 100 years, it's going to require another $4 million into the fire budget. Otherwise we're going to create holes that people are going to suffer as a result of.